If you're coming to Barcelona this May of 2025, in this video I'm going to break down all the activities that are going on throughout the month so you can make the most out of your time here. But before we get into each of those events, I want to talk a little about what to expect if you're coming in the month of May. As I always say, it's one of the best months that you can be in Barcelona, from the weather to everything that's going on, festivals, the flowers in bloom, and just great weather overall. In terms of that weather, what you should expect are highs with an average of around 23 degrees, which is going to be those lower 70s, maybe dropping down to about 15 degrees, which would be about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. What you're going to want to have are those layers always, because those mornings and those evenings can be a little bit chillier than in the middle of the day. If you're coming at the beginning of the month compared to the end, expect the temperatures to be a little bit chillier, and I've always found that May can even be warmer than even the beginning and most of June, just in general. So you should be expecting some beautiful days, getting around, taking advantage of all of the terraces and everything. But with that being said, also expect that May is the beginning of the high season. With everything that's going on, everything that you can see, expect to see a lot more people in the city. This is when you're going to want to start making reservations for specific restaurants or attractions further in advance than you would in that lower season, just to make sure that you can get to the places that you want to be. But let's get ready to find out everything that you can do if you're in Barcelona in May. Right at the start of the month, we've got two holidays, one of them being a public bank holidays where you should expect to find some closures, and the other not a public holiday, but a really big one. That first is going to be right away on May 1st. We've got International Workers' Day, so expect to find a lot of businesses and shops closed. Now, this doesn't always affect those tourist attractions, so you still will be able to make some of those reservations, but keep in mind if you want to go over to a specific store or even some of those restaurants will be closed down. Some places that are always open and definitely will be open, even with the holiday falling on a Thursday, is going to be the Mare Magnum. So if you want to get over and do some shopping in that old port, you've got a lot of different options over there. And they've also got that new timeout market with the restaurants from all over Barcelona, about 14 of them, some nice bars, and some of the best cuisine that you can find all around the city that you can try out in one place. That other holiday at the beginning of the month is going to be Sunday, May 4th, and that's Mother's Day. So buy some flowers, text your mom, call your mom, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. There's also two really big events that started in April and will be wrapping up right at the beginning of May on the 4th and the 5th. You've got the Feria de Abril that comes to an end. It's held over at the Forum. This is the 53rd year they've been doing it. Lots of different activities, food, concerts, music, and everything that you can expect to get on over there. And with those last couple days, you're definitely going to want to take advantage and check it out. The other thing that's finishing up is the beer garden over at the Pobla Espanyol, where you've got a lot of different options for that San Miguel beer. Again, some music, concerts, and different things like that. It's always a lot of fun. You can get online, you can check those out, you can make those reservations. Make sure that you don't miss the last days of each of those two events. And you'll see right away from the beginning of the month that May is just absolutely packed with all sorts of different events and activities. Especially that second weekend of the month where you've got, realistically, even from that Thursday the 8th going into the 11th, all sorts of different things. And the first is going to be that OFF Festival. This is an international gathering for people working in the digital spaces, visual arts, creating that content, and it's being held over at the Design Hub. This is right over in the Plaza de Glorias, right in that Poblenou area, and you've got a museum that celebrated its 10th year anniversary last year hosting this event. You can get online, check out the different activities and different exhibits that they'll have, and make sure that you don't miss out. The other activity that's going on that same weekend is the Vermouth and Soul Festival over in the Old Port. This is going on from the 9th to the 11th of May, and it's always a really fun activity. Really lively festival that you can see, obviously, all sorts of different vermouths, a bunch of different food, and then all sorts of different music, primarily that soul. I love that name and I love that area. If you can get over, this is a ticketed event that you'll need to get a ticket in advance. Usually you can't get those at the door. They do run out pretty quickly, but it's an awesome experience if you're in Barcelona with that sun in May, just hanging and having a good time. That same weekend, for an alternate plan, you've got the International Rose Competition. Like I've been saying, we expect the weather to be absolutely incredible this May, and one of the things that you can really get around the city just as a whole and check out are all the different flowers. At the International Rose Competition, obviously there's that focus on the different roses, over 100 different varieties, trying to vie for the best rose and that prize. Now, it's really a great opportunity to get over to the Parc de Cervantes, see something a little bit different, and take advantage of the great weather. you're gonna see that this is not the only flower festival that we're gonna be talking about this month. It's gonna seem like everything is going on that second weekend because another one of those festivals is Sant Ponç. Sant Ponç is celebrated in the Raval just off of La Rambla on the Carrer de Hospital, that hospital street. And so if you're walking down the Rambla, looking over to your right, you're gonna see a bunch of different people walking and checking out the different stalls. Sant Ponç represents the artisans, the beekeepers, the herbologists, so you'll find all of those different things at the different stalls. It's always one that kind of just pops up on people, and when you're walking down the Rambla and look on over it, you see all sorts of different things, and it draws you in. It is not a huge festival that you're going to see, but it's also something a little bit nicer to get around and check out. It gets you over by the old hospital of Sant Pol, which is the place where Gaudí actually passed away. So it's an interesting historical site that was the main hospital in the city before Sant Pau was open. So if you're around there, go check it out. And the last event in Barcelona that I'm going to tell you about that happens on that week is on May 11th. This is the Cursa de Corte Inglés. So this is the big 10K run for that Corte Inglés, the big department store that you have all over Spain. It's starting from one Corte Inglés to the other, going from that Corte Inglés in Diagonal, running down that 10K and finishing up in the Plaza de Catalunya, right in the center of Barcelona. Now, if you want to go run, power to you. You can still sign up as of right now. Get online and make sure you get your spot if you want to take part in it. But if you're not going to be running, just know that there might be some road closures, as many people always sign up for this event. It's one of the biggest 10Ks that you'll have in all of Barcelona. Now, I did say that we'd be talking about some more flowers if you're visiting Barcelona, but this one's actually not going to be in the city. It's actually just an hour outside in Girona. They have one of the biggest festivals throughout the year going on from the 10th to the 18th of May, and it's called Girona Temps de Flors. This has been going on for over 70 years, and it is a huge event that you definitely will want to see. It's a great day trip just in general, but anytime you can get over and see the Temps de Flors, it really makes the city just come to life in a whole new way. They've got all sorts of different pop-ups that you have going in and checking out all the different flowers and floral arrangements that they make all throughout the city. You get to see some really cool historical sites that are usually closed to the public, opened and decorated. The most famous thing that you can probably see in all of Girona is that cathedral and all of those stairs leading up to that front door, which is always completely decorated. You can't even really walk on it, but getting around and seeing that, getting that photo is incredible. Keep in mind that this is a really big event, so people are coming from all around to see it. So on the weekends, it's definitely more packed than on the weekdays. The weekdays, a much better option to get on over there. From Barcelona, you've got trains that can get you there in under 40 minutes. So make sure if you're coming in and you're gonna look for a day trip, that's the one you should do. Remember, it's from the 10th to the 18th. And the 18th of May, as always, is International Museum Day. So to celebrate, Barcelona always does its special Nit dels Museus, the night of the museums, where they keep the museums open until about 1 in the morning. A lot of these are the museums that you're gonna wanna go and see, and I always think it's such a cool experience to see them much later than you can usually get into. This year, they're gonna be celebrating both on the 17th and the 18th of the month, so get online and check out which of those museums that you wanna see are available for you to get into. Some of them are going to require a reservation ahead of time, others are just gonna be incredibly long lines. So if you're planning on going to any museums, especially on those days, you're gonna wanna really prioritize which ones you wanna get into, because with those long lines, you're not gonna be able to get into a lot of them. Speaking of museums, you've got two different ongoing art exhibits that are gonna be taking place the entirety of May. The first is Sean Scully over at La Pedrera, which is that Casa Milà, one of Gaudí's most famous houses. Sean Scully is an Irish artist, but has a lot of connection with Barcelona and even has done a lot of things over at Montserrat. His exhibit is going to be in combination with La Pedrera, kind of a conversation with Gaudí's different works. So it's definitely worth checking out and seeing La Pedrera in a different light. The other one is Zurbarán at the MNAC, and that is a Baroque artist having some conversations with different Catalan artists, which is a new exhibit, but one that you're really going to want to check out, getting over to one of the best museums that you can in Barcelona. And if you're here towards the end of the month, on the 23rd to the 25th, you've got the Barcelona Fira Modernista, that modernist fair that if you're coming over to Barcelona, one of the big things that you always want to see is all of the modernist architecture throughout the entirety of the city. It's something that makes Barcelona such a special place, that beautiful architecture, but also into the artwork. And this year, from that 23rd to the 25th, the Modernist Fair, taking place between Diagonal and Consell de Cent on the Carré de Bruck, offers you all sorts of different stops so you can see not only that artwork, that architecture, but also that modernism represented in different places and different cities outside of Barcelona. It's always a really fun one. And even though it's right in the center of the city, it's always a place that maybe you won't spend a whole lot of time. So you can get over there and see something that has become so intricate and so iconic within the city, within the culture of Barcelona. Now, probably the biggest event of the entire month happens right at the end, and that's the Spanish Grand Prix Formula One here in Barcelona. Unfortunately, this year I won't be able to go, but if you have those tickets, if you already got them, there might be some still available if you want to get over there. It's always a super event here in the city. Now, it's not really in the city, it's just on the outside, it's in Montmeló, but you should expect to see some more people coming in around that weekend, especially getting into June. You're gonna see a lot of those concerts and those festivals starting up, so this is when you're gonna start to see even more people coming in to the city. But Formula One is always a big event over here in Barcelona, and with rumors that it might be the last one, honestly, I still don't know if it's going to be held in Barcelona past this year, saying that and really already decided that they are moving over. That Spanish Grand Prix will be held over in 2026 in Madrid. We don't know if they're going to expand the offerings and have one here in Barcelona as well. We'll see. Leave a comment if you know if they're gonna be here past it, but this might be your last chance to see it in Barcelona in the next couple of years at least. In terms of the other sporting events, as always, you've got some Barcelona games that you can go and check out. May 11th is going to be El Clásico. This is a huge game every single year, especially this year with them so close in points, and they'll have just played the final of the Copa del Rey, that King's Cup, just a couple weeks before. So it's gonna be a big one to check out. The other option is May 18th at Villarreal. Also, you've got 3 chances to see Espanyol in action. May 4th versus Betis, May 14th versus Barcelona, so it'll be a crosstown rivalry. You'll see Barcelona traveling so far to get over to the Espanyol game. Last year was a big one where Barcelona ended up winning, and there were some sanctions for the Espanyol fans after running onto the field. And then May 25th, they'll be playing Las Palmas. Barcelona Femení will be playing May 4th against Deportivo and May 18th versus Athletic Club. Remember that, as with always with these games being pretty far in advance at the time of recording, that could change and there might not be a specific time right now. So check beforehand, make sure you get those tickets on the official sites if you want to check any of them out. As you can see, there's all sorts of different activities and events going on in Barcelona throughout the entirety of May. But if you're looking for some more exclusive events, download the Fever app. As one of the ambassadors for Fever here in Barcelona, it's something I use if I'm trying to find out some new ideas or try out some different things that I haven't done in the city. It's got all sorts of different events that'll help you make sure that you're having an amazing time here in Barcelona. If you use the link in the description below and my code patrickguide10, you'll have different discounts on some of those events as well. And if you're still planning and preparing for that trip in May, watch this video that I made about the 10 things that you need to know before coming to Barcelona to make sure that you're fully prepared.